how to use the static keyword before normal variable. Okay, so just use the static keyword before declaration of a normal variable. Now we are going to see that how to use the static with the objects. Okay, now let's see this one. Objects declared static are allowed storage in static storage area. Suppose if you are taking a normal declaration of a variable, the memory will be allocated in a stack area or it is in a temporary area. But come to the static objects or static variable or any static member, the memory will be allocated in a static area. So we have a types of locations. So when you are using the static keyword, so for that member, the memory will be allocated in a static storage area, not in the normal location, that is the temporary area or the stack area. And the scope of this particular static variable or object or any data member throughout the program means it is like a global variable. So what is the global variable? Throughout the program, we can use that particular variable. Who is that? Victor from Pochinki. Who is that? Mute yourself. You belongs to which section? Yes. Unmute yourself and reply to my answer question. Victor. Yes. Which section you belong to? Otherwise, I will simply remove your number from Google Meet. Yes. Which section you are? Okay, I will I will remove him from the class. Yeah, wait a minute. I will. Yeah. So the memory will be allocated in a static area. Okay. So it is like a global variable, and you can use that variable throughout the program. Anywhere you can use a particular variable or object or any static member. Okay. And the static objects are also initialized using constructor. So what is constructor? It is used to initialize the data members of an object. Using constructor also, we can assign the values to the static objects. Okay, so assignment to 0 on using static keyword is only for primitive data types. Suppose if you want to assign the 0 to the particular static variable, it is possible. But if you want to assign the 0 to the static object directly, it is not possible. If you are not assign a variable value by default, isn't it? So for the objects also, if you are not assigning any value, it will take the 0 value only. Suppose if you try to assign a 0 value to the objects, so you will get the compiler error. So it is not possible with the static objects, or normal variables are used with the static objects here. Now, by declaring object as static, all the members belong to objects get initialized to 0. So this is a statement. So when you are taking the static object, automatically the object consists of number of data members. So all the data members set to 0 value. Okay. Now we'll see that concept with the program. So what is a static class object? So I'm going to the programming part. Now this is the editor, I mean online compiler. So I'm going to take the class here, A, I'm taking the class name as A. Next, I'm taking some data members like int A comma B, or you can take only one member also for easy understanding purpose, which I'm taking the one data member. Okay, I'm taking the constructor. So using constructor, I can assign the values to the data members, isn't it? So I'm taking A equal to 10. And suppose if you are taking the one more data member, okay, but I'm not initializing the value to the particular data member B. Okay, simply I'm printing the value that is A and B. Okay, A is, so I'm going to print the A value, as well as I want to print the value of B also, but I'm not initializing the value to the B. Now this is the constructor. I'm using the constructor to initialize the value. Now I'm taking the destructor also. So what is the destructor? It is opposite to your constructor. Okay. Now simply I'm taking the statement here. It is a destructor. So in destructor, it is not possible to write an. Wait a minute. Yeah. So simply just I'm printing the statement. It is a destructor. Using destructor, it is going to destroy the memory that is allocated by the constructor. That's it. So the destructor does not consist any statements except the cout statement. Okay. Now I'm taking the class ending with the semicolon. Okay. Now I'm taking the static object here in main function. I'm taking the static object. Okay, static object. How to create the static or how to create the normal object class name followed by the object name. Okay, so what is the class name? A and object name is obj1. Okay, now how to create the static object? How to create the static object here using the keyword static. That's it. Okay, so up to here, class name object name is a normal syntax to create the object. But when you want to create the when you want to create the static object, so just you need to use the keyword static last name then object name. That's it. Okay. Now suppose just I'm creating only object. That's it. I'm not taking any statements here. Simply I'm taking the return statement. Now let's try to run this program. So what values it will be displayed. Now you can see here, just I'm going to run the program. I have some other, what is that? Yeah, I have one more main function here. Now run the program. Yeah, now you can see here. So A value is 10. Why? Because I have assigned the value to the A is 10. Then what is the B values? Just I want to write the B is also here. Then it will be easy to understand what is the B value. Okay, wait. It is the B. Okay. Now you can again I'm going to run the program. Who is that, Ma? Who is Chakrabarti? Who is that? Don't disturb the class. Yeah. Now come to this one. You can see here. Now, so A value is 10 and B value is 0. Okay. I'm not initializing the value to the B, but it takes the initial value as a 0. Why? Because I'm taking the object as a static. Okay. Now suppose I'm taking the two data members A and B. You can assign the value B equal to 20. Now, so what values will be displayed now? That is 10 and 20. Why? Because just I am assigning the value to both the A and B, A and B data members. Now you can see the output. A value is 10 and B value is 20. So that is the static object. Suppose if you are not initializing the value to the particular member, Amrin, Muntaj,
Yes,
Muntaj and
ma'am.
Sriya Reddy.
Ma'am.
Yeah, who is that person?
Don't know, ma'am. No,
Is
ma'am.
he belongs to your section or not?
Ma'am,
Riya Chakrabarti.
ma'am, they has changed their names, ma'am.
Ah,
In other classes also he is coming, ma'am. He or she don't know, but
who are you, ma? Riya Chakrabarti. Who are you? Who are you? LOL means You are a human being. Yeah. Then give me your number, please. Please give me your number. 100. If you have, if you don't have that much of dare to give your number, then please exit from the meeting. If you have a dare, please give your number. Yes? No? Okay. Simply I will call to 100. Then I will inform to Ria Chakrabarti is disturbing the class. Is this okay for you?
Hello, madam. Your voice is not audible, ma'am.
Yeah. Wait, ma. Wait.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm doing some changes here. Wait. ఆల్రెడీ అటెండెన్స్ మార్పుడు వస్తుంది మేడం సేమ్. మ్యూటే చేసుకో ఆల్ పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ మ్యూట్ చేసి. So is my voice is audible to everyone?
Ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Uh, so I'm explaining the programming now. Yes. Now you can see the output here of A and B. So A is 10, B is 20. Suppose if I am removing this initialization of B value, we are getting the B value as a 0. Why? Because by default, the static objects will take the 0 value to the data member. Is this clear, everyone? Or do you have any doubts? A static object.
Yes.
Yeah,
No doubt.
yeah, good. Now we'll go to the next topic where we are using the static. One more part. Now you can see here it is the static data member. Now, so first one we can apply the static to the variable. Then second one we can apply static to the object. The third one we can apply the static to the data member. So what is data member, ma? Can anyone tell me what is data member?
Variable.
Yes, Vandana, tell me.
Variable.
Of course, it is variable, but when we call the variable as a data member,
Then we use the class name for that
yeah,
data.
yeah. If you are declaring the variable in a class, then that is called as a data member. So where we can use the static keyword here. So now we can see this one. Static data members of a class are those members which are shared by all the objects. And the static data members has a single piece of storage. Now, when you are taking a static variable or data member object, the memory will be allocated in a static storage area. And throughout the program, only one memory location is used for the static variable or static data member. So if you are taking the static data member or normal data member in a class, so for the normal data member, memory will be allocated in a temporary area, and for the static data member, memory will be allocated in a static area. Okay, and these normal data member stored in a object. But when you are taking a static data member, it is not stored in your object. The memory is separately allocated for the static data member, not in a object. Suppose you can see this one. So it is the class. I'm taking the two data members x and y. So how the memory is allocated for the x and y when you are creating the object? So how can we create the object? Class name and object name. So I have created the two objects. So this is the memory allocation for the object one. So what is the object consist of data members? So what are the data members here? X and y. So for x and y, memory will be allocated for the object one. So like that, we can take the object two also. Again, object will also consist of x and y. Okay, so like this memory will be allocated. But when you're taking the static data member, now let's see this one. So this is the class. Now you can see I am taking one x as a static member and z as a normal data member. Now when you are creating the object for this class, so I have created the two objects here, obj1, obj2. Now how the memory will be allocated. Now you can see this one. For object 1, memory will be allocated for normal data member. So what is the normal data member here? Z. So for that memory will be allocated. And what is the one more thing? Object 2. For object 2 also, memory will be allocated for the normal data member. Then what about this x variable or x data member? It is a static data member. It is not a normal data member. So for this static data member, memory will be allocated separately in a static area. and this X variable value is, or X data member value is shared by both the objects obj1 and obj2. Now is this clear everyone? Yeah. Thank you, Warren. So this is the case. When you are taking the static, the memory will be allocated in a separate memory location, static area. And this location will be shared by the number of objects. Now you can see this one. For Z data member, memory will be allocated in the obj1 and obj2. But what about X here? For X data member, memory will be allocated separately and that will be shared by the number of objects. So this is about the static data member. Now we'll see this one with the program. Okay. So before that you can see this one. Static member variables means data members are not initialized using constructor. So if you are taking a normal data member, we can assign the values to the particular data members using constructor. But when you are taking a static data members, it is not possible to initialize the values using constructor. We can initialize the values to the static member using some other functions or read function, print function, display function like that. But it is not possible to assign the value to your data member, that is static data member, using constructor. Why? Because memory is allocated separately. So for normal objects, you can assign the values to your data members using constructor. But when you are taking the static members, so when you are taking the static data members, memory is allocated separately. So you can see this one. Here's one. So for object 1 and object 2, it is having Z and Z variable. Okay. You can initialize the values to this particular Z data member using constructor. Okay. But you cannot assign the value to your X data member here. Why? Because the memory is allocated for the X is different and the memory is allocated for the Z is different. You can assign the values to these object 1, object 2, Z data member using constructor, but it is not possible to assign the value to your X data member using constructor. It is not possible. So that is the static data member. Okay, so this is the point. Okay, then also it must be initialized explicitly, always outside the class. If not initialized, the linker will leave the error to the particular program. Right now, so when you are using the static data member, you need to define that static data member outside the class. Okay, why? Because memory is allocated separately. So memory is allocated separately means it is not in the object. If it is not belongs to object, then we need to inform to the program. So it is a static data member. So how can we inform to the class program that the member is a static member using the syntax? See here, using the syntax, data type, class name, scope resolution operator, static data member name. So data type, class name, scope resolution operator, static data member name. Example. So this is the class. I'm taking the X is a normal data member, S is the static data member. Okay. Now you need to define the static data member S outside the class. So what is the syntax to define that one? So this is the syntax. Now you can write that one. Int. So what is the data type of this S data member? Integer. And this S belongs to which class? A. And you need to use the scope resolution operator. What is the meaning of scope resolution operator? We are telling that right side part is belongs to left side part. So what is the right side part here? S. What is S here? Static data member. So which is belongs to class A, means the scope of this S is belongs to class A. It is not in the storage of object, but memory is allocated separately, but we are initializing the data in a class only. So we need to inform to that particular program S is the static data member and it is belongs to this particular A class. Okay. So by default, this S value, S variable is, or S data member is initialized with the 0 value. Or if you want to initialize the 0 value to the particular data member, you can write it like this also. That is in scope, class name is A, scope resolution operator, and the static data member equal to 0. So, or in both the ways, we can initialize a value. That is data type, class name, scope resolution operator, and data member. Or if you want to initialize a value, you can initialize the values. Not only zero, you can initialize the any value. So that value is assigned to the particular static data member. So this is the case when you are taking the static data member. Okay. Now is this clear, everyone?
Clear, ma'am.
Yeah, good.
Clear.
Yes, good. Now we'll see this with the program. So how to take the static data member. Okay. Now if you are taking the a public static, we can write the static data member in a private area or public area. So we cannot access the private data members, of course, whether it is a static or anything, normal data member also. We cannot access this private data member outside the class. If it is a private, we can access that within the class only. Okay. Suppose if you are declaring the static data member using public access specifier, how can we access that static data member outside the class? Now, can anyone tell me how can we access the normal data member outside the class? Is there any syntax to access the normal data member outside the class if it is a public? Can anyone tell me how can we access the public data members outside the class? Whether it is a function or data member, how can we access that one? No one. Ramya or Venala or Bharadwaj? Anyone? Or Prem Sai? Can anyone tell me how can we access the public data members or member function outside the class or in a main function? How can we access the data members and member functions in
Return
main?
type.
Return type class name function. Return type class name scope resolution operator function.
No. That is the way to define the member function outside the class. If you want to write the body of the function, that is the syntax. But how can I call the data member or how can I call the member function outside the class? How can I call the member function or how can I call the data member outside the class? How can we call the member function? If I want to execute the particular function, how can I call that particular function?
Ma'am.
Yeah, what?
Call with class name, ma'am.
Call with function, but there is a special syntax. Lakshmi Prasanna and Soumyasri said that objects. Yes, good. So we can call the member function using object name dot member function name. Isn't it? Yes or no? So if I want to call the read function object name dot read or object name dot a display function or object name dot any member function. Already we discussed this topic in the previous classes itself. How can we access the public members? Suppose if you want to access the public data member, suppose I am declaring the int x in a data member in a class, I can access that x data member using object name dot x. Isn't it? Yes or no? Did you remember this one? Yeah, yes, Someshri. So using object name dot data member or object name dot member function. Everything is possible with the object only. Object name dot data member, object name dot member function. Okay. Now, how can we access the static data member? Object name dot data member means it is a normal data member and function object name dot member function is a normal member function. But when you are taking the static data member, how can we access the static data member? Here, using a class name instead of object, we are using the class name to access the static data member. Okay, but what is the syntax? Access the static data member using class. Now you can see this one. So this is the syntax. Class name, scope resolution operator, static data member. Okay, class name, scope resolution operator, static data member. Okay, so like this we can access the member function or data member both. Okay, class name is a scope resolution operator and the data member, suppose I'm taking the x. So like that we can access the data member outside the class if it is a public. If it it is a private, it is not possible to access that one outside the class. Within the class only we can access that one. But if you want to access the static data member outside the class, this is the syntax. Okay. Now we'll go to the programming part. How to use the static data member. Okay. I'll write the program here. Static data. So these are the int AB or the data members. So how can we modify this as a static data member? By using the keyword simply static before the return type of a, data type of a particular data members. Okay, so this is the, I'm taking the static data member. So these static A int AB are the static data members. Okay, now suppose just I'm going to remove this one. Okay, I'm just adding one, or else, yeah, I'm taking one program here. It is a static one, is the static, that is the count data member, and another one is normal data member. I'm taking the one as a static data member, and there is a normal data member. So this is the static data member. Okay, so and this is the normal data member. Okay, now in public session I'm going to take one function void suppose get data. Okay, just I'm taking the function get data, means we need to initialize the value. I'm using some function to initialize the value instead of a constructor. Okay, and I'm passing the parameter also. Okay, before this it is better to write the main program first. Okay, here I'm taking the data member, object obj1, obj1, and I'm calling this function, I'm calling the function that is obj1 dot function name, that is get data function name, and I'm passing some parameter here 10. Okay, so when you're calling this obj1 dot get data with the parameter 10, it is going to be the function definition here. So that 10 value will be stored into the formal parameter x. Now I want to assign that to the particular b data member. Okay, what is b here? It is a normal data member. It is not a static data member. Okay, so what is the value here? B equal to x. So when you are taking this statement, x value will be assigned to data member b. So whenever you are assigning the value, I want to increment the count value. Count plus plus, or you can use a pre-interval. Count plus plus. Okay. Now I want to display the values also. That is void display. Okay. I need to print the both the data members value, that is count value as well as the b value. Now you can write here cout b value is I'm taking the b here. Then one more, I need to print the static data member value also, that is count value. Okay, count value is count. Okay, simply just I have assigned the value to the data member, b data member, using the formal parameter x. I'm not assigning any value to the count here. Just I want to increment the count value here. I'm using display function. Just I'm displaying the values of the particular data members. Now, before going to this object one dot get data, I want to call the display function. obj1 dot display means before going to initialize the value, I want to display the values of what is b value and what is the count value. Okay, now see that one, display. Okay, then after obj1 again I want to call the display function. Now you can see what is the difference between the calling the display function before get data and after get data. Okay, now you can see here. Just and write the statement here. After after reading the value. After reading means after assign the values, I'm calling display function. Okay. Now I'm going to run the program here. Now you can see something. I'm getting some error. I missed one semicolon here. Yeah. Again, I'm getting some. Yeah. Now see here. I'm getting some error. So what is that error? Now you can see that. So A is the class name, scope resolution operator, get data into parameter, and A scope resolution operator display. So why we are getting this as error means, now you can see here, I'm taking one static data member now. So this is a static data member. So when you are taking a static data member, you need to initialize, you need to define this static data member outside the class. So what is the outside the class means? Ending with the semicolon. After ending the semicolon here, you need to define that static data member is belongs to this particular A class. So what is the data type of count here? Integer. Write down that integer. And this count is belongs to which class? Class A. Write down that class A. And use the scope resolution operator. And what is the static data member name? Count. So write the count value. That's it. Okay. So this is the definition of a static data member. You need to define this one. You need to define this one outside the class must and should. Why? Because the memory will be allocated for the count variable data member separately. In that case, you need to refer the particular address. In that case, you need to tell that count the static data member belongs to this particular A class. So this is the definition to define the data member outside the class. So what is the data type of a static data member? You are declaring that the data member in which class, so write down that one, and scope resolution operator and count, that is a static member. Now try to run this program.
And once
Yeah.
get data for what purpose we will use, ma'am?
Get data is means like a read function. To initialize the value, I'm taking the value and I'm taking
How
the
it
get data.
works, ma'am?
Now you can see 1 minute. 1 minute. Better. Okay. Wait 1 minute. I'll show you this with the Turbo C++. Then you can easily understand the concept. So I'm
Okay, ma'am.
taking, yeah, I'm going to take one new text document. Wait a minute. It's taking some time.
Okay, ma'am.
It's very slow. This is the program. First, I need to say this one. Save as. I'm going to save this program in a C drive, that is Turbo C++. I'm going to save this in a C++ compiler. So this is a static data dot cpp extension. Okay. Don't give the space. Okay, 1 minute. The spaces will not accept here. Dot cpp. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to open this with the Turbo C++. The system is very slow, ma. Now I'm going to open that program here. So what is my program name? Static data, isn't it? Oh, where is my static data? This is one more. Yeah. Now you can see this one. Yeah, this is the program, and I want to remove this all using namespace std. Why? Because it is a C++ compiler. So simply I'm removing this one, and so this is the class name I'm taking. Now you can see this one. Mumtaz. I think it is. Who is that one? Who asked that question?
I am, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, Mohammed. Now once here. Now once come to the main function. In main function, I have created the object here, and I'm
Yes,
calling
ma'am.
the display function. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when you are calling the display function, it is going to the display function definition, and it is going to print the value of b as well as the count to data member. Okay. But what values will be displayed? You are calling the display function first. You are not calling the get data function first. I'm calling the display function first. In that case, what values will be displayed for b and count? Any idea? What is the value of b and what is the value of count?
X.
Yes.
X, ma'am.
No. What is the b value?
10. Maybe 0, ma'am.
It's not x. You are not calling the get data first. You are calling the display function first. Means I'm removing this get data function. In that case, what values will be displayed for b and count? Yes. No. Now, okay, no problem. Once phase on the program. Now you can see the programming. I have some error here. Get data is not number. Okay, function. And remove this one. Now I'm going to trace the program. Now, so the execution starts from the main function. Okay. Now it is going to the first statement. After declaration statement, declaration of object, I'm calling the obj1 dot display. Now, when you are calling the obj1 dot display, it is going to the function definition, display function definition. Now it will execute the display function statements. What are the statements here? B value is, so it is going to display the B value using the predefined cout statement functions, and it is going to display the count value using the O stream function. Okay, then after execution of this display function, again it is coming back to the main function. Why? Because I am calling this display function from main function only. Now what is the next statement here? Get data. So when you are calling the get data with the 10 parameter, it is going to the get data function definition. So that 10 value will be stored into the x value, and that value will be assigned to static, normal data member b. Okay, now what is the b value? X value. What is the x value? 10. Now I'm not initializing the value to the static data member count, but I'm incrementing the count value using the pre-increment plus count. Now that will be executed now. And after execution of this get data function, again it is coming back to the main function. The CR statement will be executed. That is, after reading the values, again I am calling the display function. Again it is going to display function. It is going to execute the statements, that is cout b value and cout count value. Okay. Now again coming back to the main function, so program is completed. Now, now I'm going to run the program. Now you can see what values will be displayed there. You can see that I want to take the clear screen. Number of times I have compiled this program, CLR, SCR, and at iostream.h I am taking the hash include convo.h, and I need to use the main function as a void, and I need to use the instead of return, yes, I'm using the with ch. Okay, now try to compile and try to run. Now see that b value is 7718 and count value is 0. So why we are getting the b value at 7718, and before going to get data function, first I am calling the display function. So before initialization, you are going to display the values. So in that case, what is the b value will be displayed? Garbage value will be displayed. And what is the count value there? 0. Why? Because it is a static data member. So for the static data member, if you are not initializing the value, so that will be initialized with the 0. So for that, we are getting the b value as a garbage value or count value as a 0. Then after reading values, after display function, I am calling the get data function with the value 10, parameter 10. Now what value will be displayed for b value here? 10. Why? Because we are passing the value to the b, that is a 10. Now what is the count value will be displayed there? 1. So whether you are initializing the value or not to the particular b variable or data member, the count value is updated there. Now you can see that one. So when you are getting the garbage value for the b, you are getting the 0 value for the count. Okay. So actually when you are taking the count as a normal data member, you will get the garbage for the count value also. But we are taking the count as a static. In that case, it will take the 0 value. And after reading the values, b value is 10 and count value is again incremented by 1. Now the count value is 1. Is this clear, Muhammad? I'm taking the
అర్థం
get
కాలేదు.
data function. I'm taking the get data function to initialize the values to your data member. That's it. When you are taking the get data member function to initialize the value to the this particular b data member using one parameterized function, that is a get data function. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any doubts? Still anyone there?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Rajesh, Gaurav. So this is the static data member. So you need to remember that one. When you are using a static data member, you need to define that particular static data member outside the class like this using this syntax. What is the data type of that particular static data member, and you're initializing this data member in which class? Write that class name, scope resolution operator, and static data member name. Okay, or you can initialize this with the 0. Okay, so if you are not initializing also, it will take the 0 value. If you are initializing the value, so that value will be stored into the a static return. Suppose I'm taking the date, initialize the value as 10. So in that case, what value will be displayed? Count value. Can anyone tell me what values will be displayed? Pranay and Varun, do you have any doubts, ma'am? Pranay and Varun, do you have any doubt regarding this program? No. Okay, thank you. Ramya, your doubt is why we'll get a garbage value for B. Why? Because display function before going to initialize the value, if you're if you want to display the values of a particular variable or data member, what value will we get here? I'm not initializing. Suppose I'm taking this one. I'm taking one more for easy understanding purpose. Simple program I'm taking here. Hash include iostream.h. Okay, and I'm taking the normal program, not the class program. Main. I'm taking it into x. Okay, in x. Now I'm going to print the value. X value is okay x. Okay, simply I'm closing the function. Then I need to say this one. Simply it is an example. Example. I have one more example is there. Some ex.cpp. Okay, let's go override. Now try to run this program. What you will get? Can anyone tell me what is the value of x here? Can anyone tell me what is the value of x here?
Default value.
S Vanilla.
Garbage value will be taken.
Yeah, if you are not initializing any value, simply it will take the garbage value. Suppose uh, for a newborn baby, so what is the name you will assign to particular baby? Tell me. Yeah. So you are using some nicknames, na? Nickname. So simply here also, when you are not initializing the value to the particular variable, it will take the garbage value. If you are assigning some name to the baby, like some Samata, Mamata, like that, it will take the name. If you are not initializing that one, it will take the nickname. So in that case here, if you not initialize the value to the particular variable, it will take the garbage value. Now let's try to compile the program. So you can see that what is the x value there? It is the some garbage value 7625 value will be printed there. Okay, is my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting the output here? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now same program. I'm assigning some value here x equal to 10. Now what value will be displayed for this program? 10. S. Lakshmi Prasanna, X Soumya Sri Ramya. Now the value of X is here 10. Like this. If you're not initializing the value, it will take the garbage value. If you're initializing the value, so that value will be assigned to your variable. That is the case in the previous program also. Now you can see here. Before going to the get data function, I am calling the display function first here. So I'm not initializing the value. First I'm calling display function. In that case, what is the B value will be printed there? Garbage value only. Then after get data, you will get the that B value as a 10. So that is the case you are getting the output here. Now you can see the output here. B value is first, it will take the garbage value and count value is 10. Why? Because just now I have initialized the value static data member count as a 0 na. Then after reading the value, B value is 10 and count value is 11. Now you can see here. Just I have initialized the value here for the count, it is 10. Suppose I am taking the count value as a 50. Now what value will be printed for count twice number of times? Now you can see here. So B value is garbage value, count value is 50 first time, and after reading the value, B value is 10 and count value is 51. So like this, you are getting the output for the normal data member and the static data member. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear? Ma'am, time is up. Of course, it is last period. Okay. Is this clear? Do you have any doubts? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now, I'll take the attendance. Please be wait. Be rekaman music. So,
Ma'am, attendance, ma'am.
yes, Mumtaz, what happened?
Ma'am, attendance.
Yeah, I'll take the attendance. And who is that teddy bear, ma? Mumtaz? Who is that?
Don't know, ma'am.
He changed his name. That's it.
He is disturbing
Baby
total class.
Ma'am, shall we leave?
Wait a minute, ma. Wait a minute. I will take the attendance. Please be wait. First, give the attendance for section A. Section A. Rule number 1. Rule number 1 is absent. 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 3. Absent. 4. Absent. 5. Absent. 6.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. 7.
Present, ma'am.
8. Absent. 9. Absent. 10. 10 absent. 11. Absent. 12.
Present, ma'am.
Present. 13.